All systems ready.
Hello, my fellow nerds out there, and welcome to the inaugural episode of the Masked Rules Lawyer. This is a channel where we're going to be covering a whole little bit of everything across the spectrum of nerddom. My main focus is going to be on Yu-Gi-Oh! And Dungeons and Dragons, but as you may give guessed from the getup, also a big fan of Persona. Might cover video games, just whatever whatever my followers happen to be interested in. That might be something that I look to branch out in and do videos on to discuss. But today is going to be a episode focusing on the Yu-Gi-Oh market as of December 10th. So the first episode we're going to be looking at SP Little Knight is a great first card for us to look at here. As you can see, SP has been doing quite well since it initially came out last month, and is only continuing to do its thing here, where it's hovering right around the 110 mark. It had been up around 115. It's going slightly down, but it's kind of just going up and down, hovering around that 110, 115 mark. See here, there was a recent light play sale for below 100, but that's what we're looking at. It doesn't seem likely that SP is going to be going down anytime real soon, if in my opinion. Seems to be the kind of card that multiple decks are taking advantage of. One factor that might bring down its price a little bit is the release of the new Link 2 that was revealed. I guess it probably last week by this point. It's the mini Goddess of the Underworld card that basically helps get that card out. For decks that are running Goddess, makes SP not quite as necessary, but I still think most any deck is going to still want to run at least one SP, so I really doubt it hurts SP's price. Upcoming ban list, maybe SP gets limited. That could bring down his price a little bit, but I think it's doubtful at this point. I think right now Konami's going to want to keep the demand for Age of Overlord going strong. It's a very, very strong set compared to some of their other releases. So while I think SP is eventually going to take a limit and then eventually a ban, I don't think we're going to be seeing that with this coming ban list. Maybe towards the summer we might see SP take a small hit, but I think it's going to be around for a while. And let's also take a look here at Imseti, Glory of Horus. Actually has taken a slight price drop lately. Last week it was about 55, 58. It's there. Well, and it's had two recent sales just today for 60. So, but then, I guess these recent sales are a light play, a damage version. And then earlier today, still 50, 50, 51. So it's hovering between 50 and 60, probably median price about 55 is what we're looking at for Imseti. So maybe it's not really going down yet. Imseti is going to be continuing to keep a pretty high price tag, most likely, as long as people are wanting to play Horus. I mean, it's necessary 3 of in the deck, and it's a great card. So I wouldn't be expecting to find a better price for it anytime real soon. If you can grab it for 50, I think you're doing well. Um, I don't think the Horus deck is going anywhere super soon. I think there's a lot of decks that want to splash that engine in. Looking at the quarter century secret rare, that has gone down a bit. Um, I mean, there a few weeks back, I think it was up as high as like 150, just really briefly though. And last couple weeks, it's been around the 130 price mark. Now we're seeing sales last couple days 122, 115, 130. So it is going down a little bit, but I don't really expect it to stay down. I think around that 120, 125 mark is probably where we can expect MCETI to hover for a little bit. Because, I mean, people like their bling. And, I mean, with the normal version already carrying a decent price tag, I mean, why not spend a little extra money and get the total foiled out version? I mean, it is a 3 of, so maybe not everybody wants to pay for 3 quarter centuries. And if you're like me, I've got 1 quarter century and 1 secret. I kind of like my cards to match, so I'm considering selling the quarter century rare and picking up a secret. Just um, at that point, if I've only got 1, I figure I might as well just go with the secrets and take the extra money and invest in something else. Other thing we want to look at today, Kashtira Fenrir in all its forms. It's been doing pretty well lately. Um, it's one of the most splashable cards in the game still, even with the Kashtira deck at large not doing so well. It's Fenrir. A lot of people just, if you're able to splash Fenrir in, why not? I mean, it's a big body. You can special summon it for nothing and get a free banish off of it, and it searches itself. I mean, it's one of the best cards in the game. Some people expect it to get hit to 2 or 1 on the ban list. I think the people who are saying ban it are dreaming, but I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for Fenrir to take a hit to 2. But I don't think it's a necessary hit. I don't think it's doing enough to be oppressive in the current meta. So right now we got the Megapack Secret Rares sitting around. We're looking around $20. Well, those are light plays, but then we've got 3 near mint sell for 18. So yeah, I mean we're looking around $20 for the secret rares out of the mega tins. Looking at the ultra rares, those are a little bit higher. Looking at 23. This is a weird one. One sold for $685 near mint. I question that. And 18, 24. They're kind of all over the place a little bit, but hovering about the same as a secret rare, the 20. Maybe a little bit more if people like the original print, but for the most part, you can probably get them for about the same as the 10 secret rare. And then the ultimate rare. And, as far as I'm concerned, if you're going to pick up Fenrirs, why not pick up the ultimate rares? They look nicer, in my opinion. They're, you're already paying half the price for secret or ultra. The ultimates are likely going to hold their value a little bit better. 40, I mean, honestly, 40 for the ultimate rare Fenrir still feels a little low to me. If it doesn't get hit in the ban list, I would not be surprised to see this go up to 50, 55. Then we're also looking at guiding equipment. This one is the crazy one. Look at these recent sales: 50, 66, 65. Yeah, I like to um, imagine myself as being someone who is fairly good at predicting the markets. I have a pretty nice side hustle by uh, you know determining or trying to figure out what's going to happen in the market. I'm usually pretty decent at picking up what cards are going to be going up in price, buy them on the low, and flip them for some decent money. This is one I'll tell you I got dead wrong. I'm not sure that anybody saw this one coming. Um, I ended up selling my Quem for 20, um, and it is that was probably about 3 months back, and it has only got skyrocketed in price since then. Um, and I was playing branded at the time, and I don't know. I ran just the one Quim, and it didn't ever feel like it did enough. I always definitely felt like I preferred Cartesia, but hey, maybe maybe I was running it wrong. If it's clearly doing something that everybody wants this card, and but 68, that sounds like an insane price. If you're shelling out that kind of money for Quem, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Just let the card cool off. It's going to get oh, a reprint eventually um, in the tens. So I mean, that's a while, but I mean, I guess if your deck really needs it, but I mean, with Brandon's not really doing anything right now in the meta. Some people are trying to run the Dogmatic package. I mean, maybe some people are trying to run it there. And I mean, what do you guys think? Does that have something to do with this price? Are people doubling up, and the people trying to run Dogmatica lately with some of the new fire stuff? Is this why? I mean, you still got to run Albaz, so I can't imagine that's it. But yeah, let me know in the comments below if you can tell me why Guiding Quem is so much. It's just, I mean, it's a good card. I don't deny that, but it doesn't feel nearly this good. Also, want to be looking at Super Star Slayer Typhon. Um, right now, we're looking at it's been hovering around the 2022 price range for most of its lifetime. Um, I think people are sleeping on this card. This thing is so good. Um, and I mean, yeah, it's an ultra rare, not a secret, but I think people really aren't giving this card enough credit. And I think once people finally really give it the attention that it needs, this card is, I'm expecting it to go up. I would be surprised if it doesn't end up reaching up to be a $30 ultra rare. And then we also want to take a look at Snake Eyes Flamberge Dragon. This is one when it came out. Um, it was one of the weaker secret rare pulls, in the um, general opinion, I suppose. I pulled it when I bought a box right off the bat, and um, I held on to it because I thought, yeah, this thing's going to go up. This thing is too good. People are just ignoring this. I mean, it's a big monster that doesn't have a uh, summon itself effect, so I think that's the um, big reason for all that. But right now it's hovering around 12, 13. I think it's going to go up. It's effect to special summon 2 level 1 fire monsters from the graveyard. It's too good. This thing is a fantastic card. I think I would not be surprised if we see it hit 15s and maybe on up to 20s. And we're also looking at the quarter century rare Effect Veiler from the Rarity Collection. I don't want to touch a lot on the Rarity Collection. I feel like so many people have done that to death, but this is one that I feel like is only going to go up. Veiler didn't have a secret rare rarity before this. It had the ultimate rare. It had a Starlight, but The Ultimate and the Starlight were both extremely expensive, so most people has had to run the ultra rare. Now Effector Valor has a really nice looking rarity that is a little more accessible, and I think once rarity collection stops being so accessible, you're only going to see this thing skyrocket. I think it's a good investment at just below $50. Now here's another one that this one has really been doing something the last few days with Duality, and I've thought that this was a really underrated card ever since it came out. As soon as it came out, I bought myself a play set of this card, and I really expected more people to be using this. Um, let's see, we got two sales just today for 18 each. I guess so that might be a little bit more of an outlier. Well, no, we had two sales for around 11:30. Somebody bought play set for that, and then 18 or 19, 19, 18, 19. Yeah, I think that's where I've really felt Duality needed to be. I feel like just it needed to find its deck where it works. Um, Looks like maybe somebody's cracked the code on that. There's a lot of cool things you can bring out. You can bring out Herald with, I mean, with oh shoot, um, in Despia. You can you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. So I think it's just been waiting for its time. If you've had your chance to get it, $7-8. Um, if you're wanting to run it now, it might go back down, but I wouldn't be surprised if it holds these numbers at least for a good while. We're looking at Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, and this is one that has a reprint scheduled for February. And up to the last few days, its value has just maintained. You had still selling for 65 as of a couple days ago. But finally, its prices started taking a decline last couple of days. People have decided to finally let it cool off. It's been hovering around the 55 or the 50 mark. So not a. I just don't know that I would pick up Galaxy Eyes at Photon Lord unless you need it for a tournament. Um, you know, you're just going to have its price is only going to be going down from here. If you can wait for the reprint, go for it. But I mean, personally, I say wait for the price to drop and then pick up the original. Another card we want to look at is Dogmatica Maximus. I'm particularly looking at the Ultra Rare. The Secret Rare has been hovering around, I think, around the $20 mark. It's becoming a popular thing, but the Ultra Rare has been, the last week or so, has been climbing on up. Got some lower sales below $4 here, but it was going up as far as $5 the last few days. I think around $5 is where it might be hovering for a little bit. So, I mean, if you think that you're going to, I mean, I think it's a one of in the strategy. So, I mean, you probably don't need to buy a lot, but and I don't know that I recommend buying it at that secret price. But you got a nice ultra rare rarity here from the 21 megatins, and yeah, I mean, it could go up from here. So keep an eye on it. Another one I want to look at is Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon, and this one has been pretty consistently, for a while around $30 ever since, I guess Gamma got banned. It took a real hit in the price, but 30 still feels low to me. I think Gamma is I would not be surprised if Gamma comes back to 2, you know, and it gets a little bit of a price bump from there. And any deck that can run synchro monsters, um, and has the extra deck space for an extra Stardust, I think you want to consider. I think you want to consider this card. I think now's the time to pick it up. I think it's only going to go up once the time is right. Steel Knight, and this thing went down. And this thing has been on quite the ride. And this thing was sitting around $1, a little over a month ago, and it is, as you can see from the graph here, shot up to around $12, $13 here, 13, 14 as of early November, slid back down to around the $8 mark here, and has only continued to go up. It's been sitting about 18, 20 now. It's big reason is it's a great super poly target. Um, you know, especially for there's a lot of decks that like to make the Baron and the SP Little Knight board. You know, great way to shut down your opponents if you can super poly them both those threats away and make a pretty strong target for yourself here. With Guilty Gear for you to create a strong body on the board in response. It's a great. I mean, that kind of swing is the kind of swing that really wins you games. So I understand why it is at the price that it is in the current metagame. I don't think it's going to hold. I think this is. It's a temporary thing. People are going to learn how to play around it, or I think a lot of decks are going to struggle to find the extra deck space. But if you have the extra deck space for Guilty Gear Freed, great card. I mean, it's not a. It's. I mean, I don't know if I would say pick them up at this price. I mean, if you need it, you need it. But I think the price. I think this is going to be one of those cards that's going to go in and out of the meta. So if you don't need it right now, if you don't have the extra deck space for it right now, wait for it to drop back to around tens. I think that's where it'll probably sit when it's not the hot commodity that it is right now. But great card right now. Another card I wanted to look at is Ultimate Rare Branded Fusion, and this thing had been sitting around $40, $50 for a while. Well, I mean, back in September, we were still looking at almost 60. And it has just continued to plummet here for a good while till it hit its low towards the end of November, around $27. And it started to go back up a little bit, 36, 37. I still feel like this is low. Brandon is not doing a lot right now, but I mean, it's obviously still doing enough. If I mentioned Quem earlier, how well it's doing. I mean, people are obviously still playing the deck, and I think Brandon is going to be one of those decks that it's too. I mean, Brandon Fusion is too good of a card for the deck to ever just like fully go away. I think once these OTS 22 tournament packs are in the past a little bit more, you're only going to see this thing go up, because I still hear some people say, "Oh, Branded Fusion, limit it to 1" or something like that. I mean, it's I don't see that happening. Obviously, Brandon's not doing enough, and getting rid of Branded Fusion would kill the deck. So, yeah, I mean, I think this, you only having this option or the version from the structure deck. I think this is the one that people are going to want, and I think as Branded becomes more prominent in certain metas, it's gonna have its chance to rise back up. Probably I mean, it's like I said, it's been going back up a little bit, but I think it's still I wouldn't feel bad about picking this up now. Yeah, maybe it's going to dip back down to around 30 for a little bit, but in the end, I think you're going to be glad you have them. Then we're looking at Despian Lulu Wayleth, another Despia card that I don't think it's Despia that's really making this card. I mean, maybe Quem is the light spellcaster that people are using with this, the level 4 tuner. I don't know. I think this is really getting used in Centurions. Um, but yeah, let me know in the comments below if there's another use that why Despian Lulu Way Lilith is has been going up. I mean, it has I guess it went up and then it's starting to go back down a little bit. It had been around 22, 23. Now it's sitting around 20s. Um, I think that's a good place for it, honestly. But um, I think it's a really solid card. And if your deck can run a level 4 tuner and make uh, multiples of synchro monsters, it's definitely a good one to have in there. Um, so, um, yeah, I'm not surprised that it's been doing well. I mean, it had been way lower than it needed to be for a while. I've been down as far as around 12, and it just that seemed yeah, it just seemed like way too low. All right. And then we've got Lava Golem. I'm looking particularly at the quarter century rarity collection. Again, I don't want to go on a lot of rarity collection, but Lava Golem is one. I don't. I expect this one to continue to go up. Um, it's a card that is going to continuously be meta relevant. Um, I picked up a couple copies when they were still around 10. They've done a 2x by since then, and yeah, the longer rarity collection goes, you know, I should say the longer of time that passes between since the release of rarity collection, and the set becomes a little less common, a little less accessible. This thing's only going to gain value, as with a lot of the quarter centuries. So, but this is one in particular that is just going to continue to hold meta relevance, and I think is a good pickup. Then we have the King Sarcophagus quarter century secret rare. That this card has been picking up in value. When it first came out, um, it was hovering around 60, 65. Um, I picked up a copy around 60 because I thought, okay, this seems way too low because um, it's the card you need for horse. It's just like Imseti. I mean, only it's technically it's more crucial. Except you're probably not running 3 copies of King Sarcophagus, which I think for a higher dollar card like this could be for its benefit as far as price goes, as far as retaining value. Because, like I mentioned, I mean, with Imseti, you want to run 3. Not everybody wants to pay for 3 of those, but paying for 2 high dollar King Sarcophaguses, having the really nice ones, that is, that's a little bit less of an ask. I mean, of course, the ultra rare is much cheaper than the alternative for Imseti. You're only paying like around $5 or something. But if you want to really bling out your deck, and this is a card that if you like to bling out your deck, you really won't. If you're running a horse package, this is the card. I mean, this is the card you want to bling out. So I think, I mean, right now it's been sitting around 80 to 90. I think, and it had shot up to even around 120 on Black Friday. I think, I would not be surprised if it goes back to triple digits here soon. Then we have Magicians of Bonds and Unity, and this is a card that is far from meta relevant. And I've got the one from Age of Overlord, but I'm just addressing this card in general. There's the previous print of it, and there's going to be more prints. Um, I think this card is. I've not picked one up myself. I've been tempted to. Um, I think the collector value of this card is underappreciated. Actually, the Age of Overlord one might be the one that is uh, that you know isn't so underappreciated, I guess. Um, in that the Age of Overlord is the set that is actually really doing well, but the previous sets and a lot of Konami sets lately just aren't selling nearly as well. That means this card is going to be rare in a lot of its iterations, like down the road. It's going to be really hard to come by. And yeah, it's never going to be a meta card, but it's a card that I think a lot of collectors are going to want, especially if it's different versions. I think 50 for a non-meta card right now may not seem like a lot, but you got to remember quarter century rares. There's a rarity that you're not going to see again after Konami gets done doing their run of it. Um, and this particular card only released in quarter century secret rare. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that it's only got potential to go up. And the last card I want to look at is Ultimate Slayer. Um, last few weeks has I've been seeing a lot more of people wanting to play cards like Garua and cards that you can send from the extra deck to the graveyard to get an effect. Been seeing a rise of like the Dogmatica package and everything. So I think this is a card that more people are going to be looking at it because if more extra decks are already running those cards, this is a great piece of spot removal to really take care of some particular threats. Right now, I'm only looking at the Secret Rare, but I mean, the Starlight, I think, is equally worth looking at, too. Um, I think this is a card you know, I think it has potential to go up, and I would not be surprised to see this catching on in more popularity. And um, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it hits to be a $30 card before too long. Um, so keep an eye on Ultimate Slayer if it doesn't get that reprint that a lot of people were expecting it to get in the tens, because right now Power of the Elements is the only set that you can get it from, and it's a good card. Don't just sleep on Ultimate Slayer. So guys, that is all that I wanted to look at today. Um, Of course, like I said, inaugural video here, so I appreciate any likes or comments, subscribers that want to get in on early and start uh, helping out the channel. Hope to build a good community with you guys and get to know a lot of you guys through the comments and such. Yeah, and if you have any thoughts about anything I talked about today, um, definitely share. Yeah, I'm looking forward to um, building up a good community and getting to know all of you guys and hearing your thoughts on all this. So um, for now, everybody have a good one, and I'll be touching back with you here in probably a few days. Thanks.